Okay, so let's continue. Now we have our flattened 2D drawing of this part, and it's we're getting into the first part of the projected macro cut. This is the first step where we're going to go ahead and set up the actual 2D milling cut. And so we have our actual boundary or perimeter of the actual part. And if you'll notice, what I plan on using is a 1/4 inch ball mill. And if you'll notice that these bosses or these stacks are a little bit closer, they're off center, so they're a little bit closer to this part of the edge of the part. And it's going to get a little tight when we start doing the projected macro cut with that 1/4 inch ball mill. So what I'd like to do is I would just like to extend the geometry for the 2D pocket cut just a little bit further out from these stacks by, let's say, 75 thou. So I'm going to go up to draw, line, parallel, and the distance is 0.075, and I'm going to select this line, and I'm going to select the further outline, and I'm going to use modify, trim extend, and I'm just going to extend these lines to close it off. So what I've done here, and it will make a little more sense to you later on in the video, but what I've done is now when I actually do this pocket back and forth cut, I've extended the geometry a little bit here just so that I've given myself a little more room around here. It won't affect the part. It will actually just be facing a little bit more of that part. So good, we've got that done. Now another thing I want to do is when I set up the 2D milling cut, this pocket cut, I need to tell it kind of roughly how deep I want to go. It's going to be using the actual surface for the depth in Z, but I want to kind of get an idea. So I'm going to go to layers, set. I'm going to go back to actually I'll just go to the boundary information, and you can see if I go to the front view, if I zoom in a little bit, I just want to know really kind of roughly what this flat part of that top is, and it looks like it's about 1.1, 1.2, something like that in Z depth. Alright, good. So I'm going to go back to, so I'll just keep that in mind. I'm going to go back to set Z smesh layer I just want to look at by itself. Top view, milling coordinates. So I'm just going to go up to mill slash cut, or excuse me, tool slash cut. I want to use, actually, let's get this back to 1. And the tool diameter, 1/4 inch ball. It's a milling type of cut we're going to be doing. I want to do a pocket back and forth. And the Z depth, here again, I'm just giving it a little bit more than what it is because I'm going to be, later on we're going to be projecting this 2D cut onto the 3D surfaces. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more than I think it should be. And I know it's like about 1.2, so I'm just going to say negative 1.5. And let's just go for 2 pecs right now, just so that we can see it and it won't be too much for this video. The cut width, I'm going to make it 50%. The other parameters you can change as you see fit. This is what's important. I want to actually activate this box. This cut is in macro, and I want to give it macro 1. I'm going to go ahead and select do it, and so now I want to select the geometry. Auto chain all around. I'm going to zoom in so you can see that a little better. And I'm going to select done. I'm going to select left. There we go. It's showing me the path of the final the toolpath of the final pass. Speed it up a little bit. It's asking me, is this correct? I'm going to say yes. Are there any bosses? I'm going to say yes. Now it wants me to select it. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And if you recall from the solid view, there's this chamfer all around here. Then it's a little flat area here, and then it's open. And the reason I need to select a boss on this 2D cut is that when it's projected to the surface, I don't want my tool to just go into this void of the 3D projection. So I'm going to just select this as my boss so I keep the tool away from it. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. I'm going to auto chain around there. Done. I'm going to also select left, climb cut, and I can see right away that I'm on the wrong side. I'm going to say no. I'm going to switch to inside out. Is there another boss? Yes. So I'm going to go back over to the other stack. Auto chain around it. Done. Left. Whoops. Let me go ahead and switch that. Let's see if we got this right. Good. And that's the end of that. And I don't want to see the cut right now. So that's our 2D cut set up. And if then now we'll just move on to projecting this on a 3D surface.